In this tutorial, we are going to see how to create a form that can be signed electronically with a legally binding signature using the free version of PandaDoc. We are going to work with 3 different forms today. This is an example of a student application form, which I have already created, and it already has fields or fillable fields. I have created this one using PDF Escape, and you have a tutorial for this one in my YouTube channel. Now, the other document is the same form, but this time without the fillable fields. So we are going to use this new software, PandaDoc, to create the form from scratch. And then you have a different example for a contract. This is not exactly a contract. This is just the last page where you might be using 2 different signatures, one from the seller and another one from a client. And again, this is just an example of how you can use 2 different signatures in a legally binding way using PandaDoc. The first thing you have to do, of course, is go to pandadoc.com, and then you may start a free 14-day trial, or the option that I'm going to use is go to pricing, and then I will check all the plans they have. So you have a free eSign, Essentials, Business, and Enterprise. And as you can see, they all have different prices. Okay, but here you have a free version, and this free version, it might be enough for all you need. So by creating a free account, you will have unlimited legally binding e-signatures, such as they mentioned here, unlimited document uploads, payments, and a mobile app. We are not going to see the payment options or the mobile app, but still, these might be useful. So let's start with a free account. Okay, so this is nice. No credit card required. Now you have to complete these fields. The first one is an email, a work email or a business email. Then you have to mention which field you work in. So you have here 4 options. So you have administration, operations, marketing, sales, services, or customer support, or other. And then you also have to create a password. After you complete all these fields, you have to sign up. In my case, I'm not going to sign up now because I have just created an account, so I'm just going to log in. Once you log in, you are going to find this page, and this is your dashboard. So you will see the number of documents that you have, draft ones, the ones that you haven't completed yet, the ones that you have already sent, and the ones that have been viewed but have not yet been completed by whoever has to fill them in. You can work with different types of documents, and the supported files they have is PDF, Word, PowerPoint, and some different types of pictures too. To upload your files, you can click on this box and select the files from your computer, or go to one of the cloud storage systems you use, or you can actually drag and drop the files here, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the fillable form, the one that I had already created using another software, just for you to see if it is useful for you or if it will save you time. After uploading a document, you will be immediately asked to add recipients. You can still add more recipients later, but while you are creating the document. But for now, let's see, I'm going to add my Maria. Okay, so this is the person who I want to send the form to. And then I'm going to hit continue. So my document is already here. And again, remember, I just tried to upload a form that I had already created. I mean, this form already had fillable fields that I had created using another software. But let's see how it works. So as you can see, and since it is already a form, you have a message here for you. So don't just click away, just read it, what you have. So they say that they have recognized 24 form fields in the uploaded document. Now, you can choose not to use those fields, and if you click no thanks, he will delete all the fields you had, or you can choose place fields. And again, if you click here, you can still delete and change some of the fields later. I'm going to place fields. And here is my form. Be careful because there is another message for you. So fields have been successfully placed. Please review and assign all fields. And this is actually time saving. If you skip this, you will have to assign each of these fields to the person you want to complete them. But if you assign them all, which is quite useful because I only want Maria, okay, my client to complete these. So I will assign them all. And by clicking here, since I only have one recipient, they will assign it automatically, all the fields, to Maria. So let's assign them all. So I have to select the recipients I want. So I want Maria. Let me choose Maria and then assign fields. So now this is a warning. Okay, I can just dismiss this because I don't need it anymore, but they are just telling me they have completed the task. So now I have my fields. These are normal fields. What I have to do now is just check if the text editing is the same I want. So here I have the font size. Here I have the person who needs to fill this out, and then I can duplicate each box, which is not necessary here because I have all the fields I need below. And here I have the properties for this specific box. Let's click on it. So I can choose if this is a required field, a multi-line task, or a mask field. Well, I want this to be a required field. And I also want this to be a multi-line text just in case the name is still long. And this is enough for me. Now I'm going to click outside the box and I'm going to move to these. So in the other program, I didn't have a perfect field date. So I created two different boxes, one for the day, another one for the month, and another one for the year. But I'm going to delete these because PandaDoc has a much better option, which is actually a date field box. So we go here and they have created a date for you. And it's much easier to use because you can just click on the date and then let me just drag and drop this. Okay, this is fine. And now, again, check the font size. This one is 15, which is the default one for the PandaDoc. This one is 2, and I don't want to change all of these, so I'm just going to change this one to 12, okay? We don't have to do this. It's really up to you. Now, as you can see, we have the same fields up here. So Maria is has already been assigned to this field, and I can also duplicate this box, which I'm not going to do now, but I can change some of the properties. So let's see. So select date is the placeholder. Placeholder is these instructions that appear here. I'm going to keep it. Now, the date format, I will have to change. And why? It's actually because I have day, month here in my form. So I'm just going to change this to day, month, year so that so that I don't have to change the form at all. Another feature that might be useful is choosing the available date. So if you stick to this one, any dates, this means that your client, or my client, in this case, Maria, she's going to complete the form in this field with any date she wants. But again, this is a date of birth. It isn't just any field. So you can click on the past dates just to make sure she remembers to change the year she was born. But if this is the date when the form was signed, for example, then you can choose a future date, which will include the day the form is being completed. You can also change these boxes and drag them and edit them. Now let's check if they have what I need. So this is font size 12, Maria. And then if you go here to the properties, you will see that this is not a required field. I need it to be a required field. Moving down to the second one, and I'm going to check all of them. Again, make them a required field. There is another section that I want to go to, which is these check boxes here. The program actually noticed that I had these, but the shapes or the sizes are slightly different. So you can resize your box. So I'm going to delete these because I think it's faster if I duplicate that one. And this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to duplicate this box and I'm going to drag it to all these different places. I have placed all my check boxes, and as you can see, if you click, you can literally check if it is working or not. Now, I had a very specific thing in my field, which was a drop-down list, and it's here. It still has my options. You can check them if you click here. Let me change the font size to 12. And again, here are my options, course 1 or 2. Again, you can click and check the properties. And here you can select something different or type something different as a placeholder. You can also change the items you have in your drop-down list or add new ones. You can make it a required field or not. In this case, I really want to make it a required field. I have another different one. In the original form, I had a paragraph here. So it is a multi-line text because I don't know how many lines my client is going to need for this one. So I'm just going to keep it like that and change the font again to 12. I have created something for a signature, and the date again, I have those 3 boxes. So I'm going to delete these. In the first place, I'm going to delete this one too. I can keep this one, but I'm just going to go and get the date field again. And I'm going to drop it here. I'm going to click on the properties and check, okay, I prefer the day, month, year, just to stick to the structure I had. And now this is the part where the client will sign. So I don't want a past date. I want a future date, and a future date will include the day the client is actually completing the form on. And here you have the signature. So let's grab a signature field, and here it is. Now you can resize it. And this is it. Okay, so then the client will be able to write different types of signatures here. We will see that later. So you can have the name typed here. You can have 1 box for the full name or 2 boxes. I'm going to add 2 boxes. 1 for, it's a required field again, 1 for the first name. And now I'm going to duplicate this box and I'm going to change the placeholder here and I'm going to write last name. It is, again, a required field. You may not need it, so you can just skip this. It really depends on the form you have created. So this is it now. My form is complete. I'm just going to check if all the fields are assigned to someone, to Marie in this case. True, 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 true. So Marie is the only one working with this document, so I can send her the document. When you hit send, you will have 2 options, send via email or share via link. It's really up to you. I prefer sending it via email. Now, you can stick to the name of the file you had, or you can change it here. I'm going to stick to it and save and continue. And then you will be led to an email. This is the email that your client is going to receive. This is the sender, which in this case, this is me. Okay, I'm the sender here. And this is Maria Andrade. This is the lady who's going to receive the form to sign it. And now this is the subject. So you can say Joana Silva sent you whatever document you have. You can change this. This is all editable. And you can add an extra message here. I'm going to paste my message here. So, hi Maria, please complete and sign this form as you've previously discussed, and or as we've discussed earlier, sorry. Or you can be a bit more formal. It really depends on who you are working with. You can also add something here. And let's say Joana Silva at uptodayskills.com sent you the application form or an application form. Now, I don't really need the name of the file to be like this, not in this place anyhow, so much better like this. So now everything you needed to complete is there. You can also add some more people just to check that, to prove that you have sent the document, but still, I don't think I need it right now, and I'm going to send it. Now this is a message, document has been sent, and they are just letting me know that it will let me know when someone opens, signs, and finishes or sends the document to someone else, which is not the case because I only have one person working on this document besides me, which is Maria. Once you close that box, you will be taken to the file that you have created, and it's still blank, but once Maria starts to complete it, I will see whatever it is she writes here, although I won't be able to change it. Now, before I show you what the recipient, in this case Maria, sees, I want you to see what you can do or what you have to do if you want to create a fillable form from scratch. So I'm going to upload another document. So I'll go here, select documents, and I'm going to add a new document. This time I'm going to drag and drop an application form which doesn't have the fillable fields yet. So I'm going to create it from scratch. So I'm going to assign it to Maria again, and she's the only one working in this form. So let me hit continue. And here is my form. This is exactly the same form. The difference is I haven't created the fillable fields yet. And as you can see, there's no warning message here at the bottom as we have seen with the previous document. So you can just create or use this software, PandaDoc, to create all the fields you need. So in this field here, I need a text field. So I'm just going to click and drop it wherever I need it. And then I'm going to change this. So I want a 15 font size this time. So, I'm going to click here and change it to 15. So this is for Maria, so that's fine. And now let's go to the properties, required, multi-line. Okay, I want to stick to it. And now I want a date. So let me close this one here, go for the date and drop wherever I think it's best. And now in this case, let me change the date field for a 15 font, and then let me check the properties. So I cannot have this one because I need the date to start with the day. So here it goes. And any dates? No, I want a past date because it's the date of birth. And then it's a required field, that's fine. And again, let me change this for a 15 font and hit enter. Let me place it. To make it easier, you can duplicate each box and then just drag to whatever size you need. And you can do the same for all fields. I'm not going to repeat this all over again because my form is exactly the same as the previous one. And here, for example, I don't know if you've been watching the whole video, but here I had a drop-down list where people should have to choose only one option. And now here is my drop-down list option, and I'm going to place it where I need it now. And as you can see, I have no options yet. So I'm going to change the font size again to 15, and I'm going to the properties. You can change the placeholder, which is the message as you see here. Please select seems fine for this one. So I'm just going to stick to it. And here in the drop-down items, you are going to add what you want to see on your list. So course 1, for example, and course 2. You can also change the order that these options appear on the list, but 1 and 2 in this case seem just fine. If you click on this arrow here, you have the 2 options. Okay, let me just go to the empty one, and this is it. Now to insert a checkbox, just go there, click on the checkbox. So this is the perfect size. So here it is. You can check it or uncheck it. In this case, I suggest you go to properties and leave this empty because people don't have to choose all these languages. They have to choose one of them. Well, have to be careful here when you place these boxes, any box, as a required field. So it's not a required field, that's fine. Now, if you want to make sure that you are inserting a paragraph, so you can go to the text field again, or just copy paste one of those boxes that you have created at the top, and you can change this to the size you want. And when you go to properties, make sure it is a multi-line text. Again, you can just click on this if you want to. Now, we have the date, the signature, and the name. Let me start with the date, and here it is. Let me go to properties and then day, month, year to keep the same type of date. And then I want to change this. I don't want just any date. I want a future date. And now I want to include a signature. And here it goes, my field for the signature. I want to make it slightly, let me align this. Now I want a field for the name. Well, it doesn't really have to be that big. So let me just change this, align it, and maybe this will be enough. And now instead of enter value, I want to change the placeholder that I see, and I can write something as type in your name. This might be useful if the handwriting is not easy to read. This is all assigned to Maria, so the document is ready. I'm not going to repeat the process, but when you send the document via email, this is what you have to complete, and then the email and so on. Now, I'm going to show you how you create two different signatures in the same document, but I have to open a different document. Let me go to my dashboard, documents, add a new document, and now I'm going to drag just an example of the last page of a contract. In this contract, I'm going to need two different signatures, Maria's and my own. If you need to have your document signed by two different people, you can add the second person here. I'm going to add myself just as an example. I probably didn't have to do this since I'm already the one creating the document, but still, just for you to see how it looks like. Hit continue. And this is the document that I have uploaded. And there is a message here, just a typical thing that you might see in a contract. And then I have two different places for two different people to sign my document. So I have one side for the service provider or the company, in this case, me, and then another side for the client. And the first thing I want to do is add a date. You can add this one before or after the signature. It's really up to you. This is a 15 font size, but you can change it. And you can actually select the type of date you want, year, month, day, or whatever it is you usually use. And you can duplicate this box because you are going to need the same box for your client. The next field you need is a signature. So I'm just going to create a signature field, make it slightly bigger, duplicate it for my client, drag and drop. Aligning the boxes in this software is very easy. If understanding the name in the signature is important, I suggest you add a text field. And in the text field, you can go here to the properties and change the placeholder. You can go here to the placeholder and change the instructions. And you can add first name. And in this case, let me just change the box. You can duplicate it, and then you can create another one for the last name or the surname. I'm going to duplicate these boxes here for my client. And I'm going to assign each of these boxes to the person that is supposed to complete them. So if you click here, you will be assigning it to the person who needs to fill this out. And in this case, it's me. So I'm going to choose my email from the drop-down list. And the signature is also mine. Again, I'm going to be the signer here. And this one is also for me. So Joanna again, and this one is also for me. This is my side because I'm the service provider or the company that's providing a service or a product. Now, as you can see, Joanna, 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 Joanna. But now on this side, it's still empty. So you have to assign each box. Let's assign this one to Maria because she's my client. Assign it to Maria. Here you go. Okay, if you just scroll over, you will see Maria, 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 Maria. So this is it. The document is ready to be sent. So I'm going to send the document. I am the sender. So you have the subject here, Joanna Silva sent you a contract, and you can add your optional message here. Before the message, I actually like to mention the website. Okay, so I'm going to write it like this and maybe add a here and then my message. So here you type in the message you think is more convenient. So this is just an example, and I'm going to hit send. So we have seen this message before. Let me close this. Now, as you can see, the boxes are here, but you can't do anything to them. I can fill in sign because I am the service provider, but I don't want to do this now. What I really want to do is I want to go to Maria's email and check what she got. This is Maria's inbox, and as you can see, she has received the 2 documents I sent her. So let's check what she sees when she opens her email. So there is the message that I typed in and also the name of the document. So let's open the document. Maria has to complete the process inside the PandaDoc app, and she can click start or immediately start typing the field to complete the fields. When she tries to select a date, remember that we have mentioned that we didn't want future dates. So these are all blocked fields. She actually has to change the year and the month, okay, in order to choose some other date. So let's just pick any date here. And then Maria has to complete all these fields, which I'm going to do for her. And then later I'm going to show you when it comes to the signature. So Maria has just completed all the fields she needed to complete, except for the ones down here in the signature part of the form. As you can see, she can select a date, and now she cannot go back because all these fields are blocked because I have chosen a future date. So she can choose today or any other date, okay? So I'm going to choose today. When Maria clicks on the signature field, a pop-up box opens, and she will see her name typed as default. She can change the font if this is what she chooses. She can also upload a picture with a signature, or, which is even better, she can draw her own name. I'm going to draw using my mouse, but there are other ways to make better signatures. I'm just going to use this. Let's imagine this is a nice signature, and I'm going to accept and sign. So as you can see, the signature is already here. Now I'm going to type her first name and her last name. Since she has completed all required fields, this yellow box and this arrow keep telling her that she can finish the document and submit it. So I'm going to hit finish. There is a message for Maria here. All set, document is complete. Check it off your list by downloading a signed document. Now, what is important to notice is that Maria can only download this document. I mean, this message only appears if she's the only one who has to complete things in the form. If the form has to be completed by 2 different people, this is not the message she will see. But now the form is complete. She can download a copy of her own. I'm going to download it so that we can compare the copies later. I'm going to go to my dashboard, and in my dashboard at PandaDoc, I can open the fillable form that I had sent her and check. Everything that Maria completed is here, including her signature, but I cannot change it. I cannot add anything to it, but I can download it. Well, I've opened both documents, the one that Maria downloaded and the one that I downloaded as a company, to check if they are the same. Well, the number of pages is the same and the message at the top is the same. This is in Portuguese, but it actually says that the document is signed and that the signatures are okay. And the same thing appears in the other document. So this one that we're looking at now is the one that Maria downloaded, and this one on the right is the one that I have downloaded. So I'm going to scroll down to the signature part. Well, everything appears to be the same. And here we have the signature and the date. And if you scroll down in the one that I downloaded as a final document, it's exactly the same. So we're back to Maria's inbox and we are going to click on the contract, which require 2 different signatures. And as you can see, she will see the message and she can open the document just like she did before. She's at PandaDoc.com to complete the process. And I'm sure you remember that we had 2 different fields for signatures, one for me as the company and the service provider, and one for Maria, my client. And these are the only fields that she can complete. So let us select a date. And now you can click on the signature field and you can do whatever it is you did. So again, you can type or you can draw a signature of your own. I'm going to draw another signature again and accept and sign. Now, first name and last name. Again, I'm doing this for my Maria, and then I'm going to finish the process. Well, since the document requires another signature, Maria cannot yet download it. It says you've done your part, so Maria is okay. So next, we'll notify you when all participants take action. I still have to sign it, so I'm the participant who still has something to do. So I'm going to close this for now. I'm back to my document dashboard and I want to see what's going on with the contract, the one that Maria has just signed. I have all the information that Maria has inserted and now I can sign it too. So I'm going to select a date. I'm going to write a signature. I want to stick to this one, although I could draw one. Let's just accept and sign. And now I'm going to write my first name, although my signature is readable. Now I'm going to finish it. The document is now complete, so I'm given the option to download this final version because everyone who had to sign it has already done so. I'm going back to Maria's inbox, and as you can see, she received another email saying that the contract document has been completed by all participants. So when she opens that email, she will be able to open the document. She will be able to see my signature and she will be able to download a copy of her own. Let me close this and let's compare both copies. You're looking at the version of the contract that Maria downloaded. So as you can see, everything is here and there's a message at the top from Adobe telling me that the signatures are okay. And if I look at my version, the same message appears and what I see is exactly the same. Now let's compare the 2 documents. The first one that only required a signature, the fillable form. And as you can see, the form is complete on the first page, and the second page of the document, it's actually a signature certificate with the information and a code for this specific document. And if we open the one that required 2 signatures, so we have the first page, the one where we have inserted the signatures, and then the last page, which is again a signature certificate, this time with 2 codes for 2 different people. Well, I guess this is it. I hope this is useful for you and let me know what you think.